Welcome to aminacademy.com. In social psychology, let us discuss about obedience. Obedience is a form of social influence that involves acting on the orders of an authority figure. It often involves actions a person would not have taken unless they were directed to do so by someone of authority or influence. To understand obedience, it is important to also understand how it differs from compliance and conformity. Compliance involves changing your behavior at the request of another person, while conformity consists in altering your behavior to go along with the rest of the groups. Obedience involves altering your behavior because an authority figure has told you to do so. Next, factors that impact obedience. A variety of individuals and social factors can impact the likelihood that a person will obey a leader. Some factors that might play a role include personality characteristics. Certain personality traits, including conscientiousness, conscientiousness and agreeableness, have been linked to greater obedience to authority. Psychological distance. You may be more likely to engage in obedience to authority if the effects of your obedience feel distant, abstract, or unconnected to your life. Ambiguity or lack of information. In ambiguous situations, a person may be more likely to obey someone who seems to have more information than they do. Fear of consequences. Obedience often happens because people fear the consequence of disobedience. Children often obey partners or teachers, for example, because they fear punishment or losing privileges if they disobey. Understanding the psychology of obedience. Recognizing the power of obedience can help shed light on why people sometimes follow the orders of an authority figure, even if it violates their own personal beliefs or morals. Helping leaders understanding their power in social situation can help them as use it more effectively and responsible. Building this understanding may also help people better recognize abuse of power and find ways to better promote responsible ethical behavior. Now, further, we'll discuss about social psychology and that obedience. In social psychology, obedience refers to the act of complying with the direct orders or commands of an authority figure. It is a form of social influence where the individuals change their behavior in response to the perceived legitimacy or power of the authority. This can involve actions a person might not otherwise take without the instructions from someone in a position of authority. Authority figure. Key aspects of obedience. First is authority figure. Obedience involves a direct order or command from someone perceived as having legitimate authority. Compliance. It is characterized by a change in behavior, often to align with the authority's directive. In social psychology, compliance refers to a change in behavior that in response to a request. Either direct or indirect, it's a form of social influence where individuals adjust their actions to align with the demands or suggestions of others. Compliance is often seen as a way for people to achieve social or personal gains or to fulfill goals by influencing others. Distinction from conformity and compliances. Obedience refers differs from conformity, which involves adjusting a behavior to match group norms, and from compliance, which can be broader terms for responding to requests. Influence of perceived authority. The perceived legitimacy can power of the authority figure play a significant role in whether an individual will obey. Potential for both positive and negative outcomes. Obedience can be constructive, such as following traffic laws, but can also be destructive, as seen in scenarios where individuals follow immoral orders from authority. Milgram experiments. What is that? The famous Milgram experiment demonstrated the strong tendency of individuals to obey authority even when the commands conflict with their personal morals. The Milgram experiment, a series of social psychology studies conducted by Stanley Milgram at Yale University in the early 1960s, investigated the willingness of individuals to obey authority even when it conflicted with their personal consciences. Participants were instructed to administer electric shocks to a learner, an actor, for incorrect answers, escalating the voltage with each mistake. The results demonstrated that a surprisingly high percentage of participants, nearly about 65% in one condition, were willing to deliver what they believed were dangerous shocks, highlighting the power of authority in influencing behavior. Factors influencing obedience, perceived legitimacy of the authority. The more legitimate the authority is perceived, the more likely individuals are to obey. Social pressure. The presence of others and the perceived expectation of the group can also influence obedience. Gradual escalation of demands. In some cases, obedience can be increased by starting with small, less demanding requests before moving to more significant ones. Personal responsibility. When individuals feel personally responsible for their actions, they may be less likely to obey immoral orders. Examples of obedience. Following instructions from a doctor or teacher. These are generally considered legitimate authorities, and individuals are expected to follow their instructions. Complying with military orders. Soldiers are expected to follow the orders of their superiors, regardless of their personal opinion. Obeying laws and regulations. Government and legal systems rely on obedience to maintain order and safety. In a sense, obedience is a powerful form of social influence that plays a crucial role in shaping human behavior, and understanding its dynamics is essential for understanding various aspects of a social life. So far, we discussed about in social psychology about obedience. If you have done, please subscribe our YouTube channel.